good Sunday morning. Good Sunday morning to everybody. It's Sunday morning, 9 o'clock almost, here on the West Coast, 12 o'clock for all of our friends on the East Coast and different time zones in different parts of the country. So good Sunday morning to you. I hope you woke up feeling light, feeling hopeful. I hope you're healthy. And for those who have family members who are sick or struggling, I said a kind of collective prayer for people this morning before my feet touched the ground. I want to thank everybody who turned in yesterday to Patrick's Instagram, where we spoke to the inspiring Ed Milet, who told me this morning that he's going to take that conversation and turn it into a podcast because it had so many great pieces of advice in it. I've been thinking a lot about what he talked about mindset, about trying to use this moment and become productive in it. I was inspired how he said that so many people, great businesses and great ideas are born out of difficulty. So that inspired me to try to think and be creative at this time. So I want to thank him once again. And this is the Sunday Paper Live. We're trying this. The Sunday Paper is our weekly newsletter that goes out every Sunday morning. You can subscribe to it at the Sunday Paper or at mariashriver.com. And it's a weekly newsletter to inspire your heart and your mind and to move humanity forward. People who write in it are trying to move humanity forward. They are moving humanity forward in big ways and small ways and in their own ways, which is what's so important. And it's something that is really a labor of love for me and really for the people that work on it. Many of you who read the Sunday Paper have bought cups of coffee to keep us going, which I just want to say I'm so grateful for. And this morning I was reading it. I write a piece every week called I've Been Thinking. And Mark Brackett is in there. He's a Yale professor, wrote a book called Permission to Feel. And he's in there this morning talking about developing a family charter. And so I was reading that this morning and thinking about how I could do that maybe through FaceTime or some other way today, because I normally have a family dinner, which probably won't happen because we're all socially distancing. But I thought having a family charter is such a great idea, and it allows everybody to think about how they are processing their emotions, how they're feeling, honoring their emotions. Mark Brackett is such a wise person, and his book was so inspiring, and his piece in there is also terrific. And I write about kind of the uncertainty of this week and how we all really need each other now more than ever, and what that feels like, and how we're in this big collective moment together, and yet we're all having very individual experiences. And being able to express those individual experiences is so important. Being able to find somebody to express them to is so important. I feel really blessed that I have a couple people I can pick up the phone with and talk to. I also walk a lot, and that helps me walk stuff through and helps me walk stuff out. And I also follow several accounts that inspire me and help me to feel grounded at this time. Some of the accounts are of people I know. Some are of people I don't know. And I have just found, my daughter Christina also turns me on to a lot of different kind of spiritual accounts that bring me hope, that help me feel grounded and solid at this time. And I hope the Sunday Paper is that for so many of you. And so we wanted to ask Jack Kornfield to join us this morning because he is such a wise teacher. He has so much wisdom. He has been in the field of Buddhism, but of teaching for decades. And he has helped so many people. And he has a really beautiful piece in today's Sunday Paper called the Buddha Vista Response to the Virus. And I watched Bill Gates last night talking about our response, everybody's response to the virus, the political response, the public health response. And Jack really talks about our individual response. And I wanted to bring him on today to talk about that. So I'm going to try to find Jack. I wanted to be on here a little bit early so I could talk to you and see if we could find Jack if he's here. Let's see, is Jack? No. Oh, there's Jack. Waiting for Jack Kornfield. I like to, where did I go? Let's see.
Oh, let's see.
Hi, Jack.
Hi, Maria.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Oh, good. I turned my own camera around. So, excuse me, I'm the camera person here. And so I was like, what? What's happening here?
You're your own techie as well, I see.
I'm my own techie. And I was just talking about your piece. First of all, how are you doing? How are you
I'm great. Trudy and I are sequestered at home, as everybody else is. And surprisingly, we're busier than we thought we'd be, doing teachings and leading retreats and all these things online and connecting with all the people that we love and care about and lots more. I know you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Are you busy? Are you as busy as I am?
Yes, I think that's so interesting because I've been speaking to a couple people who have said to me, I can't believe it. I'm busier than I was before. How is that possible?
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. Exactly.
Well, how are you so busy? How, are you finding that people want you to, they're looking for connection, they're looking for teaching? What are you finding out there?
They're looking for all of the above. I think in this time we really need connection, as you say. And so there's a lot of that, but also people are looking for practices that steady the heart, quiet the mind, help them with the kind of fears and anxieties and the various, emotions and states that come to all of us during this time. And so I've been leading these sometimes short 5-minute meditations that help people to settle in their bodies and release some of the anxiety or worry that they're carrying and steady themselves. And that's been really important. And I've done it privately for folks, but I've also done it for great big companies and other groups.
And also on your own site, I know you're doing that teaching. So if you want to follow Jack, you go to Jack Kornfield and he does these teachings. And I think anything that can steady us at this time. And he is so wise. I picked my wisdom cup today in your honor. I have all these cups that have different words on them. Several people have asked me. They're done by a woman named Ray Dunn, who's does ceramics out here in California. I don't know her, but she has a beautiful line of cups with different words on them. So I picked wisdom in honor of
beautiful.
But I wanted to, Jack has this beautiful piece in the Sunday paper this morning. And Jack, I wanted to talk about what you wrote because you said how we respond in this moment. The question is, do we respond with greed, hatred, fear, and ignorance? This only brings more suffering. Or do we respond with generosity, clarity, steadiness, and love? This, you say, is the time for love. This is the time for bodhisattvas. Is that correct?
Bodhisattva, yes.
Bodhisattva. And that you say each and every one of us is that. Each and every one of us is being called to bring that energy into the world at this moment.
Yes. We as human beings, we've been through cycles of difficulty before. If we sense into our ancestors and all those came before us, they've been through epidemics and floods and tornadoes and so forth. And we know how to survive. And what's helped us survive is the care that we have for one another, the support we give one another, which both strengthens our own heart, but also gives strength to the community around. And I use this beautiful image from Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese Zen master,
Yeah.
where he says, when the crowded Vietnamese refugee boats met with storms or pirates, if everyone panicked, all would be lost. But if even one person on the boat remained centered and calm, it was enough. It showed the way for everyone to survive. And in some way, we can be that in ourselves and for the people around. And it helps our immune system. It makes our family saner,
Yeah.
not only ourselves, but more than that, then in that place, we can say, how can I respond? How can I reach out, even if it's virtually, or, can I bake something and leave some at the door of my neighbors after the right amount of time so that it's safe? Can I volunteer online to support people? Or if you have other capacities, but you can do it from an entirely different place where you feel like you're woven into the well-being of people around you.
I love that quote from Thich Nhat Hanh. I'm a big admirer of his as well. I've gone to hear him speak several times. But I think so many people might respond to that and say, well, that makes sense. That's great. But I've just lost my job. I'm filing for unemployment. I'm a primary breadwinner. I've got people in my family dependent on me. I can't find that calm. I can't find that higher place that you're talking about.
So let's do a little practice in a couple of minutes that might help people get a sense of how they can find this calm, if you'd like.
Yeah, I think that's great. You could teach it to anybody and everybody.
Yeah, we can spend 5, 6, 7 minutes to do it. Are you game? Shall we?
I'm game. I just would like to talk a little bit more about what you're writing in here, because you also talk about your own daughter in here, and that she's married to a firefighter, and that brings up a huge amount of anxiety for you, because he's being called up every day, and that they both think they're going to get the virus, and you feel pretty helpless. And I think that's how a lot of people feel.
Yeah, I mean, he is in an urban fire department, and they don't have masks and they don't have protective gear, and 80% of their calls are medical calls. So they have to go and respond to everybody who's sick in the city. And I said, well, what about the virus? And he said, well, we assume we're just going to get it and that we're young and healthy and we'll live through it. My wife, their son, my grandson, who's 1.5 years, we assume we'll go through it. And I said, well, will you get tested? And he said, they don't want to test us because they need all hands on deck. They don't want people to be at home. They need their firefighters. They need first responders. So as a father, if my daughter called and said, Daddy, I'm in Cambodia, where she was working for the, World War Crimes Tribunal. Daddy, I need your help. I'd get on a plane in an hour and go and help her. But now we all know this. We have parents who are someplace else and we can't take care of them. We have children. So what can we do? It's time for us to breathe, to hold all of those feelings, because we have them because of our really great love for one another.
I love that. You say we have the feelings of helplessness in a way because we have such love. I love that.
Love. And to hold all this with a compassionate heart. We can say to these feelings, thank you. Thank you for trying to protect me. Thank you for trying to protect the people I love. And then we can also sense that I can be steady right now. And so there are ways to do this that I'll teach in a minute whenever you'd like.
Well, yeah, we can do it. I just wanted people to know the piece, because I read your piece this morning, as I said, in the Sunday paper, and it made me feel better, because it made me feel that there's a higher purpose to my purpose on this day, because I can only think about this day. I can't go to my church. It's going to be online. So I'll watch my pastor online. And there are so many communities like that are continuing on. But it made me feel like, okay, wait a second. Jack says that he acknowledges these feelings of helplessness that we all feel, but he also tells us that we're here for a larger purpose, and that how we respond to everything today is within our power.
That's right, and it's how we'll create a future for ourselves as a community of humans and a society. because there have been generations going through difficulties before, as I said.
Yeah.
And at the same time, there's also been the generations of physicians and scientists and people like Clara Barton, who started the Red Cross in the Civil War,
Yeah.
who I will respond with my heart and my hands in the ways that I can. And you can feel them, that somehow they're rooting for us. Are the spirit of all that's come into our bodies from them, whether you call it the epigenetics of it or the spirit of it. And this is a time of a lot of uncertainty and mystery. The Ojibwa native elders say, sometimes I go about pitying myself when all the while I'm being carried by great winds across the sky. We can't know where this is going to take us. And yes, some part of it may be tragic, and humanity goes through tragedy at times. In every generation or two or three, there's a Great Depression or a World War or an epidemic. But also, sometimes we come out of this, if we do it with good heart and spirit, loving each other and building something better. Because remember, 99% of all of us are going to survive through this. We have to tend the ones around us as best we can. What kind of world do we contribute to? And we have that in our power to find a way.
So I love that several people here thanking you for the wisdom that you've imparted to people over the decades. Several people asking about the Sunday paper. You can go to the Sunday paper, just sign up, it's free. You can read Jack there. You can follow him on his own site. You can read him on his own site. And there's a lot in here about, I was mentioning before in the paper today, we excerpt Glennon Doyle's new book, which is so inspiring. Mark Brackett talks about developing a family charter. I love this other one, which
so let's do a practice, Maria.
Okay. But I just want to mention also this young woman who started Farm Girl Flowers. So many young entrepreneurs and businesses have been wiped out by this. And so
yes,
her piece, Christina Stembel, I think is also, maybe she'll join us. So many people, my friend Eric Budaba, who also has a flower company and had to let go of people. There's so many people hurting, so many people anxious, don't feel like they can support the people who have supported them for years. So let's do a collective practice.
So, all right. So Maria, let your eyes close gently if you feel comfortable doing it.
I do.
And first, there's all the energy of excitement and concern, and people who are losing their jobs and all of the worries you have. And in the middle of that, feel yourself grounded on the earth, your feet on the floor, your buttocks on the chair, and imagine or sense as you do that you've got roots going down from your body like tree roots into the earth, deep in the earth to stabilize and steady you, because your body is made of earth.
Beautiful.
It comes from the earth, and as you do, let the sense of anxiety and fear drain out from you. Mother Earth can carry it. She's carried everything. And feel the deep-rooted steadiness that comes as you do this. Now take a deep breath or two that exhales some of the tension your body's carried. Because it gets on fight, flight, or freeze. Adrenaline comes, we're afraid, and the whole body gets activated. And those breaths release some of that. And now bring a mindful, loving attention to the whole field of your body. And feel the areas of energy and tightness or tension, the things you've been carrying. And not trying to get rid of them. Hold them like you would hold a child who's upset. And you're trying to just calm them down. Bring a kind attention that says, there, it's okay. It's all right. You're not trying to fix them. You let them be just as they are without any resistance. You can name them softly: tension, tightness, fear. And you hold them with your loving awareness. And let them, as they're held, feel your presence. And in doing so, they might move or open, respond. And little by little, they soften. And as you do, you can say, Thank you for trying to protect me, because this is your body trying to protect you. Thank you for trying to protect me. I'm okay for now. This day, this moment, I'm all right. I'm okay, and you can feel the steadying when you say thank you. I'm actually okay. I don't need to be on alarm in this moment. And your body releases.
Beautiful.
And now bring your attention to your heart. We'll do a couple more minutes and feel with your eyes closed, if you can do it a little longer, all the emotions, the anxiety and fear, the love, the longing, all the things that are there. And again, like holding a child that needs to be settled down, you let all the emotions be present and met with a compassionate and kind attention. Yes, you too. I can hold you, I can feel you, I can tolerate and allow you because you're trying to protect me. And let yourself feel them all. And as you feel them, even whisper their names: sadness, fear, worry, all these good reasons to have them. Thank you for trying to protect me. Hold them kindly. And as you say, thank you for trying to protect me. I hold you in compassion, yes, and I'm okay now. And I'm all right just now. And feel the steadiness around them that's bigger than all these emotions that wash through. And then finally go to your mind and all the stories, the chaos, the incredible speed of your mind, all those things, the images, the worries. And feel that too. Sense that and say, let me hold you with the same kindness. Take a breath as you do and say, yes, thank you. You've been working overtime, and I thank you for trying to protect me. Thank you. I hold you with kindness. And I need to let you know with the same compassion, I'm okay now. I can see clearly. I know what to do next. We'll live more in the present. And feel a steadying now, the body and its roots in the earth, a tending of your heart, and an ability to let the mind be much bigger than just the thoughts. You become the space of loving awareness that can move through all this with a steadiness and a courage. And this is in you. This is who you really are. This is your true nature. You become the wise one that's in you. And put your hands on your heart if you're comfortable at the end. And realize, thank your body and heart and mind for trying to protect you. And realize, I'm okay for now. And I can do what needs to be done from a place of steadiness and care.
I'm doing something live, which I guess is a really good thing.
How did that work for you?
That worked for me beautifully. It grounded me, and I hope it worked beautifully for everybody who is listening to your wisdom this morning. And I think that's what each of us have, as you said, is a wisdom within us that we can bring out into the world today.
Yes. Yes, we absolutely do. And taking a minute or 5 minutes during the day a few times to ground yourself and hold yourself with compassion, say thank you for trying to protect me and letting things settle, allows you then to respond and be the person, whether it's online with your loved ones or the work that you're able to do from a place of steadiness that helps everybody else get through this with your love rather than with your fear. And that's our...
So many people, I said, thank you, Jack. You're the best teacher that the world has ever seen. And I think that's what's so beautiful about you, is that you are a teacher and that you teach wisdom, you teach, but what you really teach is you teach people how to access what's within them already.
Yes, because it's already in you. It's already who we are. And these are simply ancient ways and ways that we've known as human beings to steady ourselves and get through our difficulties.
And so today, will you just continue to go out and teach this to whoever comes into your path?
Yes, I have lots of opportunities, lots of podcasts, lots of teachings that will go out in all kinds of ways. And also, I'm responding and working with people, whether in groups or in corporations or NGOs that I'm able to help. Just as you are, Maria, we all are kind of trying to stay steady and calm and then say, what can I offer? Even if it's just baking something for your neighbor, or sending a piece of music that you love to the people that will cheer up the people that are sequestered that or whether it's getting involved as you can in the things you care about and say, how can I volunteer? How can I help you? Even from my home, you can make a difference. And that making a difference, it brings a kind of oxytocin and an immune system well-being to know not only can we care for ourselves, but we actually have a purpose to care for and help those who are frightened or worried around us.
Jack, several people have said that they came in the middle of the meditation. They want to know how they can hear this in other places. So where do they go? To
If they go to
jackkornfield.com?
jackkornfield.com with a K, and those meditations, one called Steadying the Heart in the Time of Coronavirus, one called Compassion in the Time of Coronavirus, all that will be on there, all free.
So that's really a great thing, I think, to know. So anytime today or this week that you find your anxiety rising, you can go and hear Jack's voice on his website. It's free. And you can go watch this conversation. We're putting it up on YouTube. And just come back. You can buy his books. He has so many beautiful books that you can get, I think, on Amazon. I know Amazon is prioritizing the essentials when it sends out. But you're doing podcasts. You have your pieces up. You're in the Sunday paper once again today. And we'll keep doing these. If Jack wants to, we'll do these to help people kick off their week, because today is really the first day of the week. We're coming into the Easter season for those of us who are Catholic. So that to me means the end of Lent. But I think we're going to be in our homes really for quite some time. And so finding a routine, many people have spoken to me about the importance of a routine, of getting up and getting dressed, even if you have nowhere to go, having a practice, having a meditation practice, going to Jack's site, listening to his voice. What else do you do, Jack, to stay grounded and stay calm yourself?
I find ways to move my body. I can go out of my house and walk in the neighborhood, and I really need to do that to the extent that it's safe. So I do that. I do meditate or take time just to quiet and steady myself. I also have, I will write a little bit, even in a journal, or in my case, writing for others, and try to notice with some perspective, all right, here's what I'm going through. How will it look when I read back this, a year or two from now and say, wow, we really went through something. So it lets me step back and have a perspective. And of course, I try to connect with people I love. And I'm learning to cook new things. I mean, everybody has a little bit of extra time, and you can, go on Khan Academy and learn a new thing, or learn how to cook in ways you never have, or learn how to do something that actually brings you some joy and a new capacity. You don't have to shut everything down. You can let your creativity also live with you.
I love that. Instead of shutting everything down, maybe open yourself up. Maybe take this moment that's good for your brain. Over at the Women's Alzheimer's Movement, we talk a lot about what's good for your brain, keeping your brain engaged. That helps fighting off depression. That helps with anxiety. Jack's talking about moving your body. That helps with anxiety. Ideally, if you read the Sunday paper, that helps to inspire you and kick you forward this week to thinking, okay, I can manage today. I can manage tomorrow. And as I said, going back, reading Jack's pieces, listening to his voice on his website. You can listen to your voice on your website, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I want to thank Jack, who's such a wise teacher. And once again, the great thing about teachers is they help you see what's already in you. And that's a marvel. that everything you need is within you. And Jack helps you recognize that, helps you calm down, and helps you recognize that the wisdom you may be seeking is right here.
Thank you, Maria, and
Thank you, Jack.
I'll see you in person on the other side of all that we have to do to care for one another. Pleasure. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining, and have a great day.